Recording. Yeah. So we're gonna do a class that you would do as a prenatal class. So it's not specifically for any trimester or any type. It's just one that's going to be safe for pregnant ladies, because if you're advertising for prenatal yoga, you're going to get ladies from all trimesters, except something that I would say, this is something that, for years I have had, if you've got students that have been coming to you for a long time and you know that they're dedicated practitioners and they come to you. So one of my students who's been practicing with me, oh my goodness, for 10 years, came and she comes to my Lawrence Kirk, my house, she hasn't for a while, obviously, but she came to me privately and said, look, I'm pregnant, I've not announced it to everyone yet. Now, pregnancy yoga teaching, I've been told by much Sally Parks reiterates this, and a lot of pregnancy yoga trainers or teachers will say, do not teach until they're in their second trimester. You're not insured to teach pregnant ladies in their first trimester. That's the time when you're more likely to miscarry. And at the end of the day, I don't think it's, I've miscarried 3 times, and I was practicing yoga, but it wasn't yoga that made me miscarry. There's so many other reasons, but there's some people, if they're really hurting, will look for reasons, and you don't want to be you don't want that to come back on you, in the sense that you don't want them to have gone to a yoga class and then the next day something happens that's not good, and then they say, well, I was at yoga, so it must have been that. I think if you've got students who have been with you for a while and they've chosen to come to your class and they're telling you that they're pregnant but they want to continue, if they've told you that and they've got a practice already, I will teach them, because I know them, and I know that they've said to me that this is what they want to do, and they know that yoga is going to help them with you when you find out you're pregnant. Even if you're in a really great situation, it's still quite scary, and you just need you need to allay the fears and things like that. But generally, I would say first trimester. Okay, so this course is only to teach you how to teach second trimester and third trimester and postnatally. Okay, yeah, Lisa.
So if because sometimes I'm just thinking, so if somebody turned up that you perhaps said, they'd only come to a couple of your classes in the past,
yeah,
and then they announced that they found out that they were pregnant, would you then say, look, I'm really sorry, I'm not insured to teach you? And then
what you would say, well, the thing is, I think that in a sense that in Britain, we don't go around suing each other all over the place. That's something that we normally tend to apologize for being, sorry for existing. That's the kind of the British sort of way, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I would say, and I've been in that situation many times. I've taught so many pregnant ladies in my class. I have said, if they've come to me and said, look, I've found out I'm pregnant, I would say as a pregnancy yoga teacher, I've been informed that I shouldn't teach first trimester because, because of there's implications that you don't want the fetus to, to become unembedded, in a sense. But you wouldn't say that. That's I would just say there's just there's more health implications. I've been advised not to teach first trimester, but you've come to me before. If you understand your body and you feel that yoga you feel healthy and right, and you want to continue your practice, it's up to you. So, and that's kept you safe in that sense. You've said to them, I wouldn't normally teach first. If you're doing a prenatal class, you just say it's from 12 weeks onwards. You wouldn't have anyone, because you would get them to fill in a form. Okay. If it's somebody's generally coming to your class, that's when you openly tell them you wouldn't generally teach first trimester. But if they've been coming to you for a while, say that's great, but just be aware there's more health implications. You in the first, it's just a little bit more dangerous to, you want to be resting. And if you want to stop and come back, but if you really feel that yoga's helping you, I'm not going to stop you, and I'm prepared to support you.
Okay. One of my classes, I have 3 couples that come, and you think in the back of your mind, and so yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think this is the thing. I always say this to all of my trainees, all of my students: be real, be authentic, be truthful. Satya, always. Satya and ahimsa. So it's about being truthful. So yeah, own your shit, as I always say as well. It's if somebody tells you that they're pregnant and they're less than 12 weeks, let them know that as a pregnancy yoga teacher, you're not insured to teach up to after 12 weeks. But if they want to continue with their practice and they've been practicing, if somebody decides they want to start yoga and they've just found out they're pregnant, I would say no, come back after your 12 weeks. Yeah. But if they're one of your students, I've taught many of my students, because I've had students that have been coming to me for years and years and years, and they don't want to give up their weekly practice, and it's good for them. Their body's used to it. Their body's not going to go, what the hell are you doing? As your body compensates. If you started doing yoga when you just found out you're pregnant, there's all these changes already in your body. Your body starts to go, what the hell's going on? And it might think, right, I need to do something here. I remember being seriously ill in Morocco. There's always something. I collapsed in Casablanca airport on the way from Agadir to Casablanca, and then home with when Kaya was a toddler and Levi was like little. Levi was 7 or something, 10 or something like that, and I was hospitalized. And I remember, because I had gastroenteritis, I had gallstones, appendicitis, so I was really, really ill. That I'd had years before, I'd had breast implants. After having lots of babies, and lots of miscarriages, my boobs were a little bit flat, so I just got them looking a bit more normal, and ended up, my body decided to try and reject one of my implants as a foreign object, because it was fighting everything. So, and because nobody could speak English, we could only communicate through Pidgin French at the time. I had to get the British consulate involved, and it was, to say, look, I need penicillin, I need something, because I know there's a huge infection here, and and it ended up, it was sorted, but ended up in the news of the world and stuff like that. It was very embarrassing. As a yoga teacher, it didn't look good, because it was like my boob hell or something like that. It's outrageous. But as everyone says, it's like not many people read the news of the world, thank goodness. And today's newspaper, tomorrow's fish and chip wrapper. There you go. So, but yeah, so there's a point to my story. I go off on tangents there, but it's very much it. You don't want to, all of a sudden they're doing all these different things with their bodies. They're not used to practicing yoga. You don't want their body to try and reject the baby as a foreign implant. you know, foreign body, in the sense that, oh, there's all this weird stuff going on, I need to clear, you know. You don't want that. So you want to have the, you know, be able to, if the mum's used to practicing, that's fine. So I think that's a really important thing to say to you. First trimester is a no, unless you know the student and they are happy to be with you, you know. That's really important. So we'll speak about all the trimesters and the types of yoga and what you can and can't teach after. So just so that I stop gibbering on so much, let's get really started with this practice. So you will be using, they can use blocks or bolsters, and you know, I think lots of propping is really helpful. Keeping their, you know, hips open. If you're doing anything, you'll be doing like pelvic, getting them to be really aware of their pelvic floor. Now, when you're getting them to be aware of pelvic floor, you're doing any pelvic floor exercises. In the manual, I've called them Kegels as well. So it's because it's actually it's quicker than saying pelvic floor exercises. So I've just put Kegels. So if you're wondering, there's no difference. It's the same thing. But if you're doing that, I would say have them on a hard floor instead of cushions or a bolster, on a block on a hard floor, and then they're more aware of the sensation of Mula Bandha. Yeah, I think that's important. So we're going to start off. Take one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly, on your baby. Close your eyes. So one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. And it's about giving and receiving. So you're receiving love into your heart and you're giving that love into your baby. So starting to really connect into your breath, relaxing the jaw, gentle breath, counting, breathing in, count to 4, and out to the count of 4. Just connecting in with yourself, connecting to baby. Feel the healing energy coming from your hands into your body. Okay, and then opening your eyes. We're going to work with, we do quite a bit of mudra work with pregnancy yoga. So we're going to work with mothering lotus. So you're having your hands in lotus position here. And then with the breath, you're just gentle breathing. You're taking your hands down to the back of your hands and stretching them out. And then bringing them back into lotus. So you're moving down. So this is a great way for them if they're holding tension in the shoulders. It's called mothering lotus. It allows you to connect your breath and your body. You can close your eyes if you like. It's just working with mothering lotus. Okay, and then from here, inhale, take your arms up, and then interlace the fingers the other way, the palms facing up. Nice deep breaths. This is a really lovely stretch. Release down, and again, breathing in. Push the palms up to the sky, nice deep breaths. Relaxing your jaw and your shoulders. And then down. Let's do that one more time. Releasing down. And then from here, inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend the elbows, cactus arms to look one way. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, cactus arms to go the other way. So we're just doing this a few times. And then releasing the arms down, feeling the lovely warmth in the shoulders, rolling your shoulders back and forwards. So you can drop your right ear down towards your right shoulder, breathing into any tightness. Your head back up to center, drop your left ear down towards your left shoulder, breathing in. Inhaling to come back up, looking over your right shoulder. Nice deep breaths. Then looking over the other shoulder, and again, keeping the shoulders long and be aware of the space in between the vertebrae, lengthening up through the spine. Breathing into any tightness. And then back to center. And from here, you're going to breathe in, take your arms up, and breathe out. Just a gentle twist to look over your shoulder. Breathe in to come up, and then breathe out. Gentle, so it's not deep twisting. There's only open twist in pregnancy. Breathing in and breathing out. So we find that in pregnancy, your thoracic part of the spine can get really tight because it's actually a big support system to hold onto everything that's happening. You just want to open up in the thoracic. You're not trying to twist around the lumbar area. And then take your hands down. From here, we're going to move onto our hands and knees. And we're going to do cat-cow, but we're not doing cat-cow like in such a way that you normally would if you weren't pregnant, because we're not wanting, you tend to have a lot more kyphosis, you tend to have more rounding in the shoulders, and you do have the back pain where you're more bendy in the back as well. So you're just wanting to, when you're curving the spine round, I want you to really hug the baby in. This is something where you're really going to be aware of, and this is something that I found that you're like, oh my goodness, you shouldn't be working with abs, and but we really want to work with the transverse abdominis muscle. It's going to hug the baby in and keep everything all in place. So when you're exhaling, you're not having a big curve in the upper spine here, but you're hugging the baby in with the transverse abdominis. As you inhale, it's just a gentle curve. You're not doing it to the full extent. So it's about helping to bring awareness to the TVA, the transverse abdominis. You're hugging the baby in. And again, this is also getting you to connect to your breath and your body. Okay, and then from here, this is a great one to work with your TVA and helping keep everything all supported and safe without putting any danger to the baby. In the sense, so it's a bit of a superwoman here. So you're going to curl the right toes under and gently push the leg back. take the left arm out. You either can stay there, especially if they're in their 3rd trimester, or you're lifting up. So it's actually perfectly fine to do this and then drop it down. And then with the breath, you're doing the other way. So you can either keep the leg down. So try to smooth out the breath, and we're doing it slowly and dynamically. So they can either keep the toes curled under with the leg on the floor or leg out. This is a really great one for keeping everything all supported and steady. Okay, and then we're going to move into child's pose, but obviously because you're pregnant, you're going to have your knees wide here. So taking your head down, and if you like, of course my blocks, so I'm going to get a block and show you. Yeah. So with my yoga for mental health guys, something I taught them, if people are stressing out, something that's really helpful is stimulates the vagus nerve, which is good for mental health. And this is the oculocardiac nerve. Your ajna chakra, your 3rd eye. By putting pressure there, it actually stimulates the vagus nerve. So you can place your block. I would say you can place your block like this if you like. Get your ladies to rest their heads onto a block if they want to, because that pressure. This is why I use an eye bag with my in Shavasana all the time now, because I found out that pressure on the eye on the eyes or that area stimulates the oculocardiac nerve, which in turn stimulates the vagus nerve, which helps to calm you down. And it's really great for toning the vagal nerve. It gives you great vagal tone, which means that helps you feel calm and happy. So with babies that bang their heads off their cots, that's called stimming, and that's them trying to settle themselves. So we're settling ourselves by putting pressure on that part. Getting your ladies to connect with their breath. And then from there, slowly coming back up onto the hands and knees. And this is where we wag our bushy tail. So imagine you've got a big bushy tail and you want to show off your big bushy tails. It's always nice to show off your big bushy tails. This is good for you're holding any tension. This is great for your ladies. Okay, so from here you can come into downward facing dog if you're before 30 weeks. If you're after 30 weeks, I would say maybe puppy pose. You come onto your knees and down this, or you can come into child. So you're working with what works for you. You can move your heels up and down, or stay steady. Nice deep breaths. So down dog is okay up until 30 weeks, I would say. It makes the baby feel a bit lighter. It takes the pressure off your lower back. And you can come down onto your knees. And from here, we're going to work with just loosening off the psoas muscle. Now, if you're feeling fearful, the psoas muscle is, it's the muscle of the soul, but we hold a lot of fear in this area here. And this is where our psoas muscle. So our psoas muscle tightens up when we're feeling fearful. If you're like pregnant and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I've got this labor coming up, we want to keep the psoas muscle nice and open to help release fear. It's fear releasing. So coming up onto your knees, and you're going to take a step forward with your right foot. Now, because we're pregnant, we want to give the pelvis a bit more space. So take that foot out a little bit. So it's not just, you're not lunging forwards like you normally would. You've got a bit of space there. Take your hands forward, and we're just going to pulse a little bit here. The breath, just pulsing to open up this psoas muscle. Keep the shoulders relaxed. And then we're going to work with an open twist. So keep that right hand on the ground and open up. Just keeping, so it's a twist, but it's an open twist. So it feels nice. You're not squeezing the internal muscle, the internal organs here. You're opening up in the thoracic spine. And slowly coming back down. And then the way you're going to come back is you're going to take the hip out and round. Okay? And then sitting back into child's pose again. Just connecting into your breath. So you can breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth with a so breathe in through the nose. Slowly coming back up. And then you're taking a step forward with your left foot. So your foot's to the outside, to the side of the mat. So you're giving your pelvis a lot of nice space here. And then we're going to pulse with the breath. Okay, and take the left hand on the ground and open up that right hand to the sky. So an open twist, feeling that lovely openness in the thoracic spine here. So we feel that it really gets really tight for pregnant ladies in that area. And then gently taking that hand down, and again taking the leg out and then back and down. So then shaking your tail again, and maybe just a nice view, taking your hips forwards and back, just hip circling. This is good for Svadhisthana chakra, your second chakra, your joy in life, your creativity, your emotions. So second chakra stuff's very good for you. Let's go the other way. Okay, and from here, curl the toes under, and you're gently walking back, and then you're going to curl up very gently into Uttanasana, so your feet are a little bit wider than they would be. There's a lot of low blood pressure going on. And then inhaling to slowly, slowly, slowly stand up into Tadasana. So again, you're not having your feet together. You really want to, we're going to discuss the things that are going on with your knees. You tend to get knee things going on for you in pregnancy. So we'll discuss that. So checking in with your breath, checking in with yourself, feeling the four corners of your feet. Feel the length in your spine, that invisible string pulling your head up to the heavens. Tuck the chin in slightly. So then we're going to move into Utthita Trikonasana. But Utthita Trikonasana when you're pregnant, we're doing it differently. I'm going to take off my woolly socks. It's one of It's like the difference. I've been teaching online since spring, and it's like the transition from being teaching in little wee outfits to like big woolly things. So we're going to move into OT to Trikonasana, but what you're going to do, especially if someone's got sciatica or PGP, you want to keep the pelvis quite stable, and also they're going to be less balanced. So you're going to be, as opposed to it being, normally you'd have a wide stance. Go this way. Normally, instead of having your wide stance, you want the stance to be a bit shorter, and instead of it being heel to instep, you're going to have it a bit more like as if you're on a train track. So you're going to be a little bit more steady. So have your right foot out first of all. So take your arms out. So we're going to, so the stance for OT to Trikonasana is a little bit different. So you want your ladies to feel more stable and supported. That is where it's at. So you're going to come down into OT to Trikonasana, but then you're going to come all the way back up into the revolved one. So exhaling to come down, inhale to come back up. So just flowing back and forth. So keep working with that. It's just a really nice way of opening up the side body. And then coming back up and turning. So your feet are parallel. Again, checking in with yourself here. So then turn your feet the other way. So you're on the train tracks. Get yourself nice and steady. It's a shorter stance than usual. Arms out as you exhale, come down into Utthita Trikonasana. And then all the way back up into reverse. So just keep going with that nice flow. And then back up to center. Then coming to Tadasana, again, just checking in with yourself, and that's something where I think if you're teaching pregnant ladies, you want to encourage them. I've been in yoga classes where they go, don't drink water, you're not allowed to drink water during class. I would say transition stages like this, encourage them to have a wee sip of water, to keep themselves hydrated. Okay, we're going to work with, we've got a few different types of sun salutations. So let's work with one of them just now. This is one that's more, I would say, more for second trimester, because you're going to be moving up. We're going to do an easier one for there will be people in the third that can do this, okay? So inhaling, arms up. Exhaling to fold forwards into Uttanasana. Inhaling, coming halfway up, lengthen through the spine. And then exhale, take your right leg back into a lunge. Okay. And then drop the knee. And then take the other leg back. And then you're going to do a couple of cat-cows. And then you're going to take that left foot forwards into a lunge. And then curl the back toes under, coming into Uttanasana. Inhaling all the way up. Exhaling, hands into heart center. Okay, we're going to do that again. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling to fold. Inhaling, coming halfway up. Exhale, take that left knee back, or left leg back into a lunge. Drop the knee, and then take the other knee back. And we're going to work with a couple of gentle cat-cows. Then take that right foot forwards into a lunge here, and then curl the back toes under. And then coming into Uttanasana. Inhaling, arms all the way up. Exhaling, hands to heart center. So they still like to work with sun salutations, but it's about moving gently and a little bit more slowly and mindfully. Okay, so we're going to stand in Tadasana, a bit wider stance, and just circle your hips. Just get nice big circles. When I teach children, we're doing invisible hula hoops. So just get these invisible hula hoops going. It's very good for you. Around the other way. Starts to get things flowing. Okay, and then we need to bring some balance in. So yes, it's a bit more tricky with when you've got a big bump in front of you. So we're going to work with Vrikshasana tree pose. So you can get your ladies, if they want, to lean on the wall or hold on to the wall. That's okay. Or some of them might want to just take their right foot to their left ankle or to their calf. Not very many will take their foot to the inner thigh, but if they do, they have to be really quite secure, because you do not want their foot slipping and bashing down, because that's going to really affect the pelvic floor. It's not going to be very good for them. So get them to be very aware of their bodies, and then they can either just stay with their hands here, or take your arms out and open, and really try and breathe into your heart center here. Just open to receive. And then releasing your arms down. Let's do the other side. So you can be leaning on a wall if you want, or just take your foot to your ankle or to your calf. But again, if they take their foot to the inner thigh, you can get them to really engage that inner thigh. It's an equal pressure. It's not just the foot against the thigh, but you really don't want to encourage this too much. You know, there's a lot of A-type personalities that want to keep going, but if their foot slips, you do not want to affect the pelvic floor, okay? So shoulders back and down, either staying here. You can get your ladies to work with encouraging your ladies to pull the pelvic floor up here. Engage Mula Bandha. So Mula Bandha is very, very important. Like a slight engagement of Uddiyana. There's a lot of people that say, oh, don't do Uddiyana Bandha in pregnancy yoga. But a slight engagement is actually going to engage the TVA. It's going to hug the baby in. It's a slight awareness of hugging the baby in, okay? So hug the baby in. And then gently release, checking in with yourself. So as I said earlier, labor isn't easy, so we need to prepare the ladies for that. So we need to pop in some strength and stamina stuff. So let's be goddesses, okay? So your feet come to the side of your mat if you want. I'm going to stay forward so you can see what I'm doing. So your feet are wide apart. Your feet are coming out a little bit. You're bending your knees. Okay, so if you're used to, you find that I've got like a curve here anyway, naturally, and you'll find a lot of ladies will be more like that anyway when they're pregnant. So you want them to try and curl in their tailbone a little bit just to protect their back, okay? And we're going to work with a mudra here. Okay, so we're going to work with a yoni mudra flow. So you take your hands into Anjali mudra, and then you're taking your hands down into yoni mudra, lifting the arms up, taking them all the way back down and up to the center again. So keep working with the breath, work with yoni mudra flow. Shoulders relaxed. Sorry, somebody's trying to sell me something. So then take your legs up. So the next thing we're going to do, and I call it, some of you guys who've worked with me before know when I'm teaching the Kundalini yoga or something like that, I call it something because it reminds me of something when I'm writing down what I'm going to do next. So I've called this one the Mr. Bean thrust. And so it was me that named it. So it's not, but you'll see what I mean. This is where I've called it the Mr. Bean thrust. Instead of writing down, do this, do that, do this, it's so that you guys know, oh, Mr. Bean thrust, I know what you're speaking about. So it looks a little bit like chair, but the arms are parallel, because if you come down into Utkatasana, chair pose, and your arms are up, you have a tendency to dip again, you know, and we don't want any dips there. We don't want pressure on the lower back. You're going to have back pain anyway. So we want to have the arms parallel. So we're coming down into chair pose with your arms parallel. And then you're going to inhale to come up and then push the hips forwards. Exhale down. Inhale forward. So this is came down to this. So now you know why I call it the Mr. Bean thrust. I feel it makes you look a little bit like Mr. Bean. Maybe not, but it's just my way of just remembering what I'm going to do with you. So you can really feel we're working with that connective tissue in the groin area, the hip area. Okay, so you'll feel that nice warmth there. So this is just like, we've got a little bit of strength and stamina going there. So I think before we transition down onto the floor, with pregnancy yoga, I like to come from doing the standing stuff to a little bit of wall work. Okay, I think you can probably see me, the wall here. I'll turn it around a little bit. So it's just a little bit of wall work before we come down into our coming down onto the floor. So what we're going to do is, can you see me? Yeah, I think you can. Okay, that's good. So what you're doing is you're facing the wall, and you're just going to get your ladies to take their right foot back. And if that's where they're at, that's where they're at, and that's actually okay. So, but some of them might want to come into a modified Natarajasana, dancer pose, by taking your left arm up and just leaning forward and lifting the leg up a little bit more. You don't want to come into the full expression. You know, this is just helping the lady open up that little bit more. It's quite a nice wee way of working with Natarajasana. Smooth out the breath. And slowly coming back down. So let's do the other side. So your lady might just bend that back leg and just stay there. That's fine. Or you might want to come into the modified Natarajasana by taking the right arm up and stretching that back leg out. It's a nice stretch of the quads, and it opens up the shoulder, but they're also feeling supported. The wall work stuff is great for bringing support in, and this is where the pregnant lady really feels that the need for a lot more support. So wall work, it means more than just support with your practice. There's a lot more meaning to it. So coming away from the wall now, I'm going to show you another type of sun salutation. You're going to work with, this one's a little bit easier. This is one that I've found that when I've worked with some of my daughter's friends who are quite heavily pregnant and their babies are quite low down, they felt that lightness. This is one that really helps with them. So you come into the back of your mat. So you're inhaling, taking your arms up. Exhaling, take your hands into Anjali Mudra. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale, slowly coming down. Now, some of your ladies won't be able, especially if they've been runners or anything, won't be able to get their heels down. That's okay, all right? So I quite like to sit like this. This is, you'll find that people in India and you go to various different countries in Asia, there's the grannies are sitting like this with the kids. This is the Malasana is the best position for optimal fetal position. But if the baby is breech or it's not facing the right way, you don't want to encourage the baby to go deeper in this position. So be aware of that. So you're coming forwards onto your hands and knees now. And this is for a bit of a variation of, I'll go this way, of, because obviously you can't do chaturanga. And this is just a nice way of connecting in with the breath as well, and upper body strength. It's called a swooping cat. So you're inhaling to come forward. So keep the elbows pointing backwards, inhaling to come forwards, and then coming up, exhaling, curving the spine round, and sitting back in the heels. So inhaling to swoop forwards, exhale, curve the spine down and sit back. So doing this a few times. It feels so good. So I found that most of my pregnant ladies love the swooping cat, but I'm working with quite a few young people in their 20s right now. So you might find somebody, you know, an older pregnant lady who's not been practicing yoga might not find this so easy. So you're either going to sit back in wide-legged child's pose, or some of you might want to come into downward facing dog. So giving them the option of down dog or Balasana, child's pose. If you're in down dog, come down onto your knees, curl the toes under, and then we're sitting back, and then we're slowly curling up into Uttanasana, inhaling, coming all the way back up. Checking in with yourself. Remember, a lot of the ladies will have low blood pressure, so they'll be feeling dizzy. So just really getting them to ground themselves. So we'll do that one more time. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling to fold down into a Malasana. And then down onto the knees. And then swooping cat. Remember to keep the elbows pointing back. And then staying back into child's pose or downward facing dog. Making your choice of where you want to be, what you want to achieve here in your practice. Connecting with your breath. So with you can breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth with a one more time. If you're in down dog, come down onto your knees. And then from here, we're moving into Dandasana. So slowly taking your legs out in front of you. Okay, so we're going to move into Paschimottanasana. So obviously you've got bump in front of you. So you're not you back issues, all these different things. You don't want to have your legs all straight here. You're going to have a bit of a wider stance. You can have a wider stance, and I've got 3 black cats, so my bolster's gotten really hairy already. Oh yeah. So you can either just have your legs out front of you. Some of you might have cushions or bolsters, and you can just come forwards. So coming into Paschimottanasana, making sure your head's not dropped down, like your head's really heavy. It's like a bowling ball here. So by keeping a slight tuck in the chin into Jalandhara Bandha, it protects the neck, but also that tucking of the chin will stop the prana from shooting up through Sushumna too quickly and moving into the brain and making the brain agitated. So by keeping the back of your neck nice and long in your practice, it stops your mind from being agitated. So just get your ladies to breathe into this. Inhaling to slowly come back up. Okay, and then from here, you're going to bend this left knee back. Okay, and you can still keep the leg a little bit wider if you want to. And we're going to work with an open twist here, but we also, because I'm a bit of a lover of the mudras and I'm working with pregnant ladies or doing lots of like feminine or womb yoga, we're going to work with the one that's I call it the rocker mudra. It's a Apana mudra, this one. This one, so you get your middle fingers to come down. You see all these rockers doing that? So I'm not one of them. I was more of a raver in my youth. You've got your rocker mudra. This is a Apana mudra. So Apana mudra is the vayu that grounds you. So with pregnancy yoga, we're wanting to work with Apana vayu more than anything. We're wanting to work with the pelvic bowl. So this mudra encourages prana to accumulate and move more into the pelvic bowl. There you go. So you see all these rockers doing that. They're encouraging their prana and their pelvic bowl. Next time you see any of them doing that, you'll know what they're doing. They won't know what they're doing. So take your left arm to the inside of your left thigh, and you're going to have Apana vayu, so in your left hand, and you're looking over that right shoulder. So keep that right foot flexed and breathe into your heart center. And slowly releasing. Let's do the other side. So bend the right knee. So get the right arm to the inside of the right thigh. The right hands are coming into Apana mudra. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to look over that left shoulder. So yeah, so you say no twists in pregnancy, but you open twists are actually really beneficial. We're actually giving the baby more space here. We're opening up the thoracic part of the spine. Closed twists are a no-go. And then releasing. Take your legs out in front of you. Just check in with yourself. Where are you now? And have a little smile to yourself. It always helps. So from here, take your feet together into Baddha Konasana. Some of your ladies might want to raise their hips and come onto a block if they like. And they can, if they like, take that bolster if they've got bolsters or cushions and come forward. But it's where you're at, where they're at today. So you're coming forwards and remembering to keep that chin slightly tucked in to keep the mind nice and calm. The back of your neck long, mind is going to be calm. Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Although this is more moving into cobbler's pose territory here. So just breathe into where you are. So working with really wide hip openers. If you've got pelvic girdle pain or sciatica, like you wouldn't be working with too many hip openers. You want to keep the pelvis nice and stable, but we'll come to that. Worry. Inhaling to slowly come back up. And then from here to come into a Sukhasana. And we're just going to feel make sure you're on a hard surface again. So we're going to work with the pelvic floor here. So I just want you to close your eyes. And as you inhale, feel the pelvic floor rise up. As you exhale, just gently allow it to come back down. Now we're going to try and do it the other way round. So as you exhale, draw the pelvic floor up. And as you inhale, release it. Okay, here we go. So you feel the difference? Yeah, it's like, it's a little bit crazy. You're like, what the hell there? So from working with like the tantric hatha stuff, and when we work with bandhas a lot, we tend to go inhale and hold and lift. Pregnancy yoga, because of the way the diaphragm works and everything, we're not working with it from the energetic perspective like you would do with tantric hatha yoga. What we're doing is we're wanting to work with it in a physical way. And if you've got your neurons will be going, what, oh, it's so difficult changing. You've got all these different things. So what we want to encourage your pregnant ladies to do is, instead of inhaling, lifting up Mula Bandha, we want to exhale, lift up Mula Bandha. Inhale, release. It's more tricky, but you're really more aware of it. So we try it again, and you'll see that kind of waves, it's a bit like when you work with Kundalini yoga, and sometimes normally with Hatha yoga, you're breathing out, coming down, breathing in to come up, and sometimes the Kundalini stuff's different. And you're, what? My brain doesn't do that. So this is quite good with like working with the left and right hemispheres of the brain too. It's always good to do things differently. See what works for you. But it's just getting your ladies to be aware of their pelvic floor. And a lot of ladies aren't. Okay? So closing your eyes and working with, on the exhale, lifting up Mula Bandha. And then releasing. Okay? So try and work slowly and gently with this and just bring awareness. So as you exhale, lift up Mula Bandha. Okay, so what we're going to do now is get you prepared for Shavasana. So Shavasana with pregnant ladies, they're not going to be lying on their backs. You can do, if you've got the props, you can make it into, you can do the armchair Shavasana thing. So you can lift up, get a bolster or pillows or blocks and get it so they're nice and lifted up and supported, and they've got this support, because you do not want them lying on their backs. But what I used to do quite a few years ago, God, before I moved here, I've been living here for 8 years. I used to teach pregnant ladies in Stonehaven Bowling Club, and I used to get them to bring their own cushions from home. So this is before, I don't think you could get bolsters in the internet about 10 years ago. It's all like, it's weird how things have progressed. It's great in some ways. So I used to get them to bring pillows from their own home, and they would, you want them to lie on your left side, and I'll explain why, but it's to do with Vina Cava, which isn't fizzy wine, by the way. So you're going to get, they really enjoyed, they brought their blankets, but they had pillows. They had one that they would have in between their thighs, and they had another one that they cuddled into. So and then they'd come around and tuck them in. So you get your ladies to bring into, if they don't need all the fancy gear. They don't need expensive yoga props. They bring in 2 pillows from their home just to snuggle into. So you're going to snuggle in onto your left side. And your Shavasana today, you're going to do a little bit of hypnobirthing. Okay? So nice and comfortable. But the first thing we're going to work with is a nice breathing technique that all the pregnant ladies love. And I incorporate it into a lot of my classes now, especially restorative and yin, is golden thread breath. So you're breathing in through your nose, and you're breathing out through your mouth as if you're blowing out a golden thread. So breathe in through your nose and blow out this golden thread. Okay, so letting go of the breath now. And feel yourself in a comfortable position, and notice how supported you feel by the surface beneath you. You can have your eyes closed if it's comfortable, or you can have them open in a soft gaze. Ever feels best for you. In this hypnobirthing inspired relaxation, we're going to take a journey to a deeply relaxing place. A place that you could return to any time in your pregnancy, when you want to relax or during your birthing. There's nothing you need to do. This is a time for you to just let go and simply hear the sound of my voice. It's a special time when you can tune into your baby on this wonderful journey you're making together. Now take a deep breath through your nose, filling your abdomen with air. Feel it slowly filling up like a balloon. And now, slowly as you possibly can, exhale through your mouth and send the breath all the way down the spine. So repeat this a few more times. Breathing in through your nose, filling your abdomen with air. And it slowly filling up like a balloon. As you exhale through your mouth, Send the breath all the way down the spine. Just really connect into your breath. And now returning to a gentle, slow breath. A little like the sea lapping against the shore. Inhaling and exhaling. Lulling your body into feeling calm and grounded. Calm and grounded. And noticing if there's any areas of your body which feel held or uncomfortable. Are there any emotions or thoughts around your birthing which you'd like to transform into a really positive approach to your birth? Choosing that area of the body or mind now, could you find a color that you'd associate with that feeling? And a texture or a shape? Now, could you transform that color and shape into a positive and manageable sensation in your body? Or how would the color change? How would it change shape to feel okay or positive? Just sense that now in your body. And then letting go of that visualization and focusing in again on your breathing as it becomes slower and deeper. That lulling feeling of the wave-like flow of the breath. The soothing flow of the breath that lulls you to sleep at night. And give yourself permission now to go deeper into relaxation. Feeling the warmth of relaxation flowing all around your face, your jaw, your eyes, into your shoulders, releasing them away from your ears, relaxing down your arms to the tips of your fingers, releasing around your heart center, the middle of your chest and around your womb. Feeling the warmth of relaxation flowing down through your upper back, all the way down to the sacrum of the lower spine, in contact with the ground. That warming relaxation flowing down through your legs now, all the way down into the tips of the toes. Sensing yourself feeling calm and grounded. So calm and grounded. And feeling now that your entire body is letting go. Surrendering to gravity. As you sink further into relaxation, imagine you're standing at the top of a beautiful, safe and sturdy staircase with 10 steps going down. Maybe this is a staircase that you've seen before. Maybe it's one that you're imagining for the first time today. Imagine there are 10 steps going down. Take a moment to get a feel for your staircase, noticing if it has railing, if it has walls by it, if it goes straight down, or if it has curbs. Just take in the details of your staircase. We're going to walk down these stairs together, and as we do, you'll be drawing yourself deeper and deeper into relaxation. Now we're starting down the stairs together, taking that first step. 1, down the staircase. 2, drifting twice as deep as you are now. 3, down the staircase. 4, deeper and deeper, 2 times as deep. 5, 6, twice as deep. 7, 8, 9, almost at the bottom now. 10, Twice as deep again, allowing yourself to be so relaxed. As you emerge from the staircase, you find yourself under some trees near a beautiful beach. The temperature is perfect for you. And there's a gentle breeze, and you can hear the sounds of birds, nature, and the soothing waves of the sea around you. You see a small path that you decide to follow and feel deeply peaceful as you walk through the trees. And the leaves glisten and the golden sunbeams dance between the branches. As you walk slowly beneath the trees, you soak up their calming ground and energy and feel yourself becoming calm and grounded. As you slowly walk, you're looking for the perfect place to rest, a place you could visit anytime and perhaps during your birth and feel entirely peaceful and safe. Find that place now. It may be amongst the trees or on the beach, or perhaps in a space nearby. Trust yourself to find the perfect place for you. Any blankets, cushions, or other things that would help make you feel more comfortable are all there for you as you walk towards it. See this special place and settle yourself in. Perhaps you come to lie down on your left side, or you prefer to sit cross-legged. Are you there by yourself, or is anyone with you? Anyone who joins you here is a calming presence who can be quiet with you, helping you to come into your birthing zone, or perhaps you would prefer to come here just yourself and your baby. Look around you. What colors do you see? Perhaps there are flowers. What patterns or shapes? The movement and the stillness around you. What can you hear? Perhaps birds, the sea, and the calming sound of your own breath. Experiencing only what feels right for you now, relaxing deeply, knowing that you are in control of what's happening in your body and how you relax. As you look out towards the sea or listen to the waves, you feel calm and grounded, connected to nature, part of nature, and trusting in that connection. The waves have a steady rhythm and you feel calm and grounded. Calm and grounded. Enjoy the rhythm of the waves surging in their natural pattern. In the same way, the muscles of the womb know instinctively how to work in harmony with your baby. Feel the gentle flow of the breath, synchronized with the sound of the sea. As you listen to these sounds, it lulls you into feeling even more calm and grounded. Part of nature, part of the whole, trusting in yourself and the wisdom of your womb. Focusing in your breath, just observing it and not altering it in any way. With every breath, you go deeper and deeper. You're at your own center, your place of complete silence within. Now take your hand to your womb. This is your anchor. Anytime you take your hand to your womb, it is a reminder to move deeper into this complete feeling of calm and trust. Every time you bring your hand to your womb, it is a reminder of your body's deep wisdom. It's wisdom in knowing how to grow your baby, and it's wisdom of knowing how to birth your baby. When you're deep enough for you, just relax your hand wherever it falls and is comfortable. The more that you come back to this anchor on your womb where you are in deep relaxation, the more easily you'll sink into relaxation when you choose. Allow yourself to simply rest here in this calming birth space, feeling yourself in tune with nature, listening to the gentle surges of the waves, and knowing that when your baby begins to gently surge like a wave, that each of these surges will bring your baby closer to meeting you. Welcome these warm waves of the breath flowing through you, and with every exhale, feel your body more calm and grounded. Calm and grounded. So rest here in your calming birthing space with your hand on your womb. Feel that anchor that helps you feel calm and grounded. Calm and grounded. And as your hand rests on your womb, feel your connection with your baby nestled inside your womb. Enjoying the benefits of you taking this time to relax. So you can return to this calming and comfortable birthing space whenever you choose. But for now, it's time to return. So making your way now to the wooden door to your staircase. And as you walk towards the staircase, take this calm, grounded feeling with you. As you open the wooden door, you see the staircase rising in front of you. You place your foot in the first step. 1, stepping up. 2, 3, rising further up. 4, 5, feel yourself gently awakening. 7, 8, feeling nearly ready to come back. 9, and 10, knowing that you have arrived back in the room you began in. Sense your body in contact with the ground and listen in now to the sounds around you. The sounds outside the room and the sounds within the room. Bring some movement into your fingers and toes and stretch if you'd like to. And sensing now that you are refreshed and aware of being in the space you've been practicing hypnobirthing in. Bringing some movement into your body, stretching and moving. And when you're ready, slowly and gently pushing yourselves up to seated position, placing your hands in Anjali Mudra. To end your practice with an Om. Namaste. Thank you for practicing yoga with me this morning. So I'm gonna, because it's like this, the hypnobirthing's quite deep, isn't it? It's like, it's almost a little bit deeper than yoga nidra. It's good though, isn't it? So I think going straight into a wee lecture, your brain needs a little bit of time to come to. I'm going to let you have another 8 minutes break. Let's do eight. 8 seems like a nice, perfect rounded number for some reason. So yeah, it's coming up for yeah, so well, it's 8 minutes. Yeah, we'll just come back about 1/2 past, so that's 7 minutes. But you know, who's really counting with that 1 minute? So go and get some liquids in, get some fresh air if you need to, and then we're going to finish at midday today and come back again. But you know, we're going to chat over some of that. Okay, so I'll see you back here in a few minutes. Okay.